Hello and welcome to class 10th subject English book First Flight chapter 3rd Two Stories About Flying. This chapter is divided, or you can say this chapter is having two parts. First is his first flight by Liam O'Flaherty, and the second story is all about a black aeroplane. So in this video we will just discuss about the first chapter, that is his first flight by Liam O'Flaherty, and the second story of this chapter we'll get to know, or we will learn from the other video. Okay, so let us discuss the first chapter and let's start it with the introduction. This story by Liam O'Flaherty is an account of a young bird that is afraid to fly for the first time. He believes that his wings would not support him, despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings. He could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. The lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first flight or the first step, and that fear is all in the mind. One should trust one's abilities because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. So, this was the introduction, and now let's get to know about the author of this chapter. Liam O'Flaherty was born in 1896 in one of the Aran Island of Galway. In 1908, at the age of 12, he went to Rockwell College, and then went to study at Holy Cross and University College, Dublin. He did not attend the first two schools for long. Many of Flaherty's works of fiction have common themes of nature and Ireland. Some his best short stories were written in Irish. In 1923, O'Flaherty published his first novel, Thy Neighbour's Wife, thought to be one of his best. In 1935, his novel The Informer, for which he had been awarded the 1925 James Stewart Black Memorial Prize for Fiction. He died in Dublin in 1984 at the age 88. Now, let's start the chapter by line reading and explanation. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge here means a narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or a cliff. Okay, so here in this chapter, we'll get to know about a young seagull who is afraid to fly. Okay, and let's after reading, we'll get to know that how he conquer his fear. So here a young seagull is there which is alone on the ledge. As I have told you, ledge is a narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or a cliff. You can say, students, you can see here in the picture that one seagull is there on the cliff and sitting all alone. And cliff is the part of a mountain which is coming out from it. Okay, so that is called cliff. His two brothers and his sisters had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with him. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Okay, so here in these lines it is explained that the seagull was having two brothers and sisters, and they have already taken the fly. Okay, and he was not able to do that. He was very much afraid. He was not having that much courage to fly, like as if they his brothers and sisters were having. Okay, so he was having fear to fly. Although he has tried to take a run forward to the brink, brink means edge, kinara. Okay, so he has taken the brink and ran forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted a flap of his wings and become afraid. Means once or twice he has tried by flapping out his wings, but it doesn't he was not having that much courage to take the flight. Okay, so the great expense the sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. So, here two things are explained, that what was the point of fear for that seagull. Okay, he was trying, but he couldn't able to take the flight. He was running towards the brink of the ledge and flapping his wings, but couldn't take the fly. Okay, so the problem was that he was having fear from that beneath. Okay, that sea which is stretching down beneath, and it was very down, a long way down, miles down, according to the seagull. So from that mm, height he was having the fear, and the another thing of his fear was that he was not having belief on his wings, that he can take a fly. He used to think that his wings are very weak, so that he couldn't take the flight and help him out. So by trying, he noticed this and get the fear, and again he get back to that hole where he was sitting or sleeping at last night. Although his brothers and sisters on the same point, they have taking the they have run towards the brink and flapped their wings, and they have flown away, but he couldn't able to do that. His father and mother had made his father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life he, but for the life of him, he could not move. Here, what the parents did for him, that they have they were just scolding him that he was not able to take the flight. Shrilly here means harsh, upbraiding means scolding. Okay, so they used a harsh voice for scolding and uh, threatening the seagull, by saying that, or by giving warning to the seagull, that they will leave him, and they will leave him for starve. Means they will not provide any food unless and until he himself only take the flight and catch his prey. Okay, so they have given him the warning, and they had flown away. But for the life of him, he could not move. Means that fear was so big for that seagull that for his own life also he was not getting or he was not taking chance to fly. That was 24 hours ago. Since then nobody had came near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. Here, 24 hours have gone away means that seagull was sitting on that cliff on that ledge from one day. Okay, since from one day nobody had come near to the seagull. They have left the seagull all alone, and what the seagull had seen that on the day before, that all day long means for the whole day the parents were flying with the seagull's brother and sister, and what they were teaching to them, that how to take the flight. Okay, they were making perfect to those to his brother and sister to take the perfect flight, and they were teaching that how to skim the waves. Okay, how to skim here means moving lightly over the surface area. Okay, and this surface area is what? This surface area is the sea's surface areas. Okay, so they were teaching that how to skim on the sea throughout the waves and catching the prey. Okay, and they were also teaching him to take diving also. So all the techniques to catch the prey would had been teaching had been taught by the parents to the brothers and sisters, and this seagull was just sitting on the cliff and watching the things whatsoever was going in front of him. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock while his parents circle around, raising a proud cackle. So, what also he had seen that his older brother has had catched his first herring. First herring means a soft finned sea fish. His older brother had already catched, and he was eating in a devour manner. Devour means eat hungrily or quickly. Okay, so that brother of the seagull was eating that sea fish very hungrily, as if he had not got from longer time, or very quickly he was eating that, standing on the rock. And what the parents were doing, that they were praising him by circling him when he was eating that herring in a devious manner. They were just circling up above him and raising with a proud and cackling. Cackle here means the sound producing by the birds in joy. Okay, so and all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with the cowardice. So, what the family has done, that they have left the seagull on the same cliff and they moved to the another cliff which was opposite to that cliff, and opposite to that cliff, and they were it was looking as if they were taunting to this seagull. They were taunting here means, taunting means poking up. They were poking to this seagull. They were making fun of this seagull about his cowardice. Cowardice means timid. Okay, and Hindi cowardice means kayarta. So they were making fun of his cowardice. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. So the sun was going upwards towards sky and blazing on his ledge that faced the south. Blazing here means the south the ledge which was facing the southwards, it was blazing, it was shining. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since previous fall night. Means The seagull was feeling so weak because he had not eaten anything from the last 24 hours and he was sitting just alone on that cliff. Okay, and after getting the first ray of the sun or the heat of the sun, he was feeling so heat because of his weakness. Okay, or he was feeling so restless, that is why he slept slowly. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wings, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. So, here the seagull is trying to pretend that he is feeling restless, he is going to faint, he is not good by health, but then also his family members couldn't take any notice to this seagull. And this seagull was creating a little drama by going on the brink of the ledge, that showing off that he's not feeling well and he need help of his parents, but the parents have turned their face from this seagull. He saw his two brothers and his sister laying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So after going to the brink, what he has seen, that his brothers and sisters were laying on the plateau. They were just sleeping. Dozing here means sleeping. They were sleeping with their heads sunk. Students, you must have seen how birds used to sleep. They used to sunk means they used to bow their heads in their fur, okay, in their body own, and then they sleep. So like that only they were sleeping on the plateau by sunking their heads into their necks only. His father was his father was preening. Preening here means making an effort to maintain maintain feathers. Means students, you must have seen that how birds used to clean their feathers with their beaks. Okay, the same. It is called preening. Okay, so the father was preening. He was cleaning his feathers through by his beaks. Okay, so his father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. Means, as you all know, students, mother's heart is very soft. Okay, so she was having care about his this uh, this seagull who was all alone on that shelf. She was standing on the little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward, thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak and on the rock. So here, what the mother was doing, she was little bit cared about his this seagull who was weak, and she was seeing that what the seagull was doing, and how he was seeing how she was seeing, she has just standing on a little high hump. Hump means area which is slightly upwards. Okay, you must have seen on the camel's back, so that is called hump, and the same on the mountain area which is slightly upward, that uh, she seagull was sitting on that hump, and she was noticing his uh, child. Her white breast thrust forward means what she was she had face towards his baby seagull, and she was seeing that what he that this seagull was doing. Okay, and what she was doing after sitting on that hump, she was watching and she was getting care, she was caring about, she was getting stressed about his baby seagull and tearing up the flesh of the fish. Okay, she was doing pieces of the fish uh, with the help of his beaks, and after tearing one piece, she was just scraping his beak. Scraping means sharpening. Okay, so after touring, she used to. You must have seen two birds, students. If you have noticed birds, they used to sharpen their beaks on the hard surface area so that they can eat their or tore their prey. Okay, the sight of the food mended him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to whet it. Whet it means to sharpen. Okay. Means scrapped also here means sharpening, and whet also whet means to sharpen. So the mother was doing, and she was thinking, the seagull was thinking, who was sitting on the cliff, that he uh, means he was remembering, he was memorizing his previous day, that how he would like to do the same what the mother was doing after catching the prey. She used to sharpen the beaks. Okay, so she was remembering all the love that he used to have in tearing the food and scraping his beaks in that manner what the mother was doing at the same. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Ga kola, she screamed back aggressively. Aggressively here means mocking, in a manner showing someone showing someone the she or he is stupid. Okay, so ga 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 is the cry of the seagull who was left alone on the cliff. Okay, and he was begging for the food, begging to her bring some food. Okay, he was begging, and the mother, the she, okay, she was screaming back that gakola means uh, he was saying to that child, his seagull, that he is just doing a stupid thing. He should take the fly, because by that only he can save his life. But he kept calling plaintively. Plaintively means having a sad quality voice. Ga ga ga. Okay, this was the sad quality voice of that seagull, and he was asking for food to from his mother. He was asking for the food, and after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. Means what happened, he listened a joyful scream. The bird has made a good happy scream. Scream means a loud voice. He has taken out. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. Means what the mother had did, as you all know, students, mother's heart is very soft, so she didn't able to handle the plaintively cry what the seagull was making. So she had picked the piece of fish in her beaks, and she had started flying across to him with that piece of fish flesh. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. He here is the seagull, and he, as the mother was coming close, he was also taking step forward and going and tapping to the rock with his feet and trying to get nearer towards his mother. But when she was just opposite to him, means here the mother was just in front of that seagull, she stopped, halted. Halted means stop. Okay, so she stopped her wings motionless, and the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. Means it was the what the mother seagull has done, that she was very close to the he seagull, okay, but couldn't able to catch it with his beaks, and but the mother seagull was close to him, okay, almost within the reach of the beak of the little seagull. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not came nearer, and then maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. So, what happened? Mother Seagull was just near to the cliff, to the brink of the ledge, but she didn't came nearer to the seagull who was sitting on the ledge. So at the movement, seagull was thinking that why the mother is not coming nearer to him, but he was so hungry that he didn't able to control himself or think about any fear. He was having the love of his mother, and he was so hungry that he was maddened with it. He was getting mad with the hunger, and just he dived on the fish. Okay, he has taken the long jump on the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. So, what happened when he has taken the skim? He fell outward, means that he was out of that cliff. He has taken the jump, and what he has noticed that he is going downwards. Okay, because he has taken the jump and he couldn't able to catch that fish flesh, and he was going down and down. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. Monstrous terror means a very terror was there in his mind, a thrill gone towards his body, and his heart become stood still, means motionless. Okay, he was so much scared. He could hear nothing. In his fear, nothing was realized by him, no sound was heard by him, but it only lasted a minute. Means all the fear which was there in his mind was in his mind only. It lasts for a minute only. The next movement, he felt his wings spread outwards. Means, as you all know, students, when anything comes down, it used to, like you can imagine about a bird when it is flying, so automatically the pressure goes upward, and the feathers used to open. By that also it helps. Okay, his feather get opened, and he started flapping his wings. Next moment, he just felt his wings spread outwards. Okay, automatically. Here the wind rushed against his breast feathers. Breast feathers means he had means his wings come towards his chest. Okay, and again he has taken the flap. Then under his stomach and against his wings. Okay, means he had slowly starting his flapping of his wings. He could feel the tip. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. Means now slowly he had started feeling something, and the feel was what, that his wings were just cutting the pressure of the air. Okay, he was not falling headlong now. Means he was not falling now. He was not falling now, and he was soaring gradually downwards. Soaring here means flying. he had now learned how to fly gradually downwards and upwards. Means he is starting the flight with downwards and upward direction. He was no longer afraid. Now he was not having a little bit of fear in his mind. He has started flying upwards and downwards. He just felt a bit dizzy. Dizzy here means uncomfortable feeling of spinning around and losing one's balance. So, as you all know, students, when a little child used to take the first step, he used to little bit uh, feel that he is losing his balance, or when we also used to see them, so we notice that he is feeling imbalanced, but then also by having courage they move forward. Okay, so that thing is called dizzy. So the bird was feeling dizzy, but then also he was taking the flight. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Means again he has taken the full pressure flap and taken upward flight. Ga 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 kala. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. Means his mother was very happy and she was taking out a voice, ga 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 kala. His mother swooped past him. Means mother was just flying with that seagull only, and her wings making his wings were making a loud noise, because he was taking a good flight. He was just cutting out the air. That is why a sound was coming out from their wings. He answered her with another scream. Means the seagull had answered mother with the other scream, with taking the other another voice. Then his father flew over him screaming. Then father also came to the seagull, and he was also making a joyful noise. He saw two brothers and his sisters flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. These four things, what here in this line is explained, is the movements of flying. Okay, students, curveting, banking, and soaring and diving are the movements of flying. So his whole family was near to him. They were just flying and surrounding him, and they were very happy. They were taking out the joyful noise from his beaks, and the brother and sister were just curveting means leaping like a horse, and banking means flying with one wings higher than the other. Okay, and soaring means flying in an upward direction. Diving means flying in a downwards direction in the water surface area. Okay, so then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and uh, commended commanded himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. So here he has completely forgotten that once he was just afraid to fly. Means a day was what when he used to fear from flying, but now he was having total confidence, full confidence that he can fly, he can take the dive and dive and soar and curve. Soar and curve are the different ways of flying. Okay, shrieking shrilly. So she was just making noise. Shrilly means harsh voice, and shrieking means voice which he was taking out. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little reds moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and and cawed amusedly. So what he has seen, that he was above on the sea, very near to the sea, and he was just flying straight on it, facing straight out with the ocean. Means he was just feeling the ocean. He was just seeing the whole ocean, which was looking green in color. He saw the vast green sea beneath him. Okay, and the little wrens moving over it. Ridges means the hedges, you can say, the small, in Hindi we can say tila. Okay, so they were there on the sea, which was floating on it. And what he has done, that so after carving, he made a joyful sound. After turning out his sideways and cowed amusedly, means with the happiness, he just twisted out his beaks and started making noise. His parents and his brothers and sisters had landed on the green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. Beckoning here means signaling him to follow them. Means they were beckoning, means they were giving signal that the children of them should follow him. Okay, so the parents and his brother and his sister had landed on the green flooring. Green flooring means the surface area of the sea, headed to him, and they were saying to the seagull to just follow him, and calling shrilly with a deeper voice. Shrilly means deeper voice. Okay, harsh voice, loud voice. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with the flight and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. Means what happened? As the parents had did, that they were flying on the surface of the sea. So but this seagull who was just taken the flight was not knowing that how to float on that water. Okay, so when he tried, his legs were sunk in the water. Okay, his legs were sunk, so he was again got afraid, and he screamed that he was drowning, but it was not like that. He started flapping his wings. Okay, he tried to take the flight, but he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Means, as you all know, students, he was hungry from 24 hours. So because of that, he was feeling restless. He was not having so much energy to take the flight very fast, to take the flight in a fast manner. Okay, so he was exhausted by the strange exercise what they were doing, the different exercises what the parents and the brothers were doing. So he was a little bit exhausted. That is why he was not doing in a fast manner. His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. Means he was his legs and his stomach, you can say, were sunk in the water, in the green sea. His belly, okay, sank in the green sea. He was floated on it. Means he was just floating on it, and around him his family was screaming. When the new uh, when this seagull who has just learned to take the flight, when he learned to take the float on the sea, at that movement his parents were very happy, and they were screaming around him, and the family was also screaming around him and praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. Means they were giving uh, the pieces of dogfish to this seagull, and he made his first flight by this manner. Okay students, as you all know a Hindi proverb that डर के आगे जीत है. So the same thing happened with that seagull. He had conquered his fear and take his flight, his first flight. I hope you have got motivated from this chapter and you will also conquer your fears and achieve your goals. I hope you have understood the chapter and the explanation. If any doubt is there, you can ask. Here are some questions, students, which you have to do in your fear copies in a very good manner with a full explanation. If any doubt is there, you can ask through the comment box. Okay, and I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you very much.